What is going on, guys? This is the Live Sports Talk podcast, and this is our college football season preview episode. This is Jeff here, and I am here with a representative from DraftNasty.com, De'Angelo Bryant. De'Angelo, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Jeff. How are you doing, man?
Pretty good. Excited for the season to start on Thursday. So I think we're gonna start off by talking about the SEC East, and so De'Angelo, who do you see being the team to beat in the SEC East?
Well, I think right now, I think you really have to look at South Carolina, and for a couple of different reasons. I think you look at a guy like Connor Shaw who returns back. I'm pretty sure they're going to have more packages with him. Not only running the football, but I'm pretty sure he's gained a good bit of confidence throwing the football as well. And then if you look outside, you return Ace Sanders, and then what can you say when you get a guy caliber back like Marcus Lattimore with the experiences of the two backups that he has? I think it's some ingredients for success over there.
Definitely. How do you think they're going to fare, even though they don't have Alshon Jeffrey now?
Well, I think losing Alshon is definitely going to be a very big challenge for him. Just simply because a lot of different things he could do. He was ultimately a game changer for him. Went up and high pointed the football probably better than anybody in the nation when it came to that. But they're definitely going to miss him. They're going to miss his presence just simply because of what he brought to the table. But look for guys like incoming freshman Shaq Rowland, who's a Columbia native to step up and play and just watch more how they throw to the tight end Cunningham, who I think is a very underrated player at this point. Watch for them to really use Cunningham much like they did with Wesley Saunders a couple of years back.
Yeah, South Carolina has a fairly tough schedule this year. They have to play at LSU, they play Georgia, they play Arkansas, and at Florida. So there should be some good games. And they also they lead off the year. They're the first game of the college football season against Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt Thursday night at 7 p.m. And I think you'll be at that game, won't you?
Yes. Jeff Nasty will be in attendance at that game.
And then, like I said, they play Georgia, who seems to be the other team. Georgia and possibly Florida a little bit. Those are the three big teams in that division. Georgia has a much easier schedule than South Carolina. How do you see that playing out?
Well, I think Georgia's defense is. I think they really honed into the defensive system that they have. I think the coaches more than anything have gotten a chance to know their personnel on the defensive side of the football. So that seems to be the strength of their roster at this point in time. And then just with losing guys like Isaiah Crowell. It's going to be big for them because you've seen over the last couple of years a lot of freshman running backs in the SEC has had a little bit of success. We talk about guys like Michael Dye, Marcus Lattimore, the two names that jump off my mind. You really start to think about what kind of impact Crowell would have had this season, had he returned for that for his sophomore season. So there's a little bit of concern on the offensive side of the ball when it comes to Georgia, but when you do have a veteran quarterback like Aaron Murray, the leadership skills can be there, and he can find ways to distribute the football, and Georgia Bulldogs can win a couple games this year.
And that leads me to my next question. How do you expect Aaron Murray to perform this year?
Well, I'm an Aaron Murray fan. I think he's very poised in the pocket. Delivers some good footballs at times. What I would like to see him do is really work the middle of the field. But he also lost really three really good tight ends. Some guys that were able to do some magical things for him as far as being an outlet for him as a younger player. So Murray's going to have to take some shots down the field. And I think Mitchell's going to definitely be a guy that they want to look to get involved a lot more. Obviously, he's going to be playing a little bit of defense this year. I don't know how long that's going to happen, but you definitely got to think that Murray's going to have to place the offense on his back with a lot of inexperienced players around him right now.
And as you said earlier, they will be without Isaiah Crowell, which they're starting running back for this season, which is going to be tough for them. Another team switching over to the West that has lost a star is LSU, losing Matthew, a.k.a. the Honey Badger. How do you expect LSU to do against a great Alabama team and a great SEC conference?
Well, I think LSU has a couple games on their schedule that they may need to be aware of. Losing the Honey Badger is definitely going to take a toll, more so from a presence standpoint and a playmaking standpoint than anything. I mean, countless times last season we saw this guy really change the field position for the offense, kind of catapulted the offense to a little bit of success last year. But when I look at an LSU team, I see a very strong defense. I see a very disciplined defense. But the question is going to be, can Zach Mettenberger really get the job done? I mean, is he really going to be that guy to cure the woes of the quarterback position? And we know they all have a stable of running backs. I mean, they return a very strict offensive line, some road graders up front, but the biggest question is can this guy really distribute the football accurately to really get LSU over that hump? But they have a couple games on their schedule that they may need to be aware of, and one of those teams over in the SEC West is Mississippi State.
So then you have the national champion, actually, Alabama, in that division as well. LSU, Alabama, that was the national championship game last year. How do you expect Alabama to fare?
Well, Alabama's going to be solid. They're a solid football team. I mean, talking about what Nick Saban and his staff does over there is they get those guys to compete. And one of the things that I actually praise them on is the fact that they go out and when they recruit not only talent, but they recruit guys to fit their scheme. So with that being said, I mean, you're looking at a team that's going to be solid. I mean, they really don't have a lot of those big name players that we're used to hearing about down in Alabama, but I think you have to look at the fact that this team is they're simply going to be solid. I mean, they're going to play the pitch and catch games. They're going to come with the really good ground attack. Coach Burns does a really good job there with the running backs, and I think his history carries all the way back to Clemson. And I mean, just simply on defense, I think that they have some returning guys in the right spots that's going to hold that defense together after losing guys like Dante Hightower, Courtney Upshaw, and Mark Barron.
And I think since we are talking about top 10 teams here so far, we've talked about Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, LSU, all in the top 10. I think we have to talk about Arkansas, who is also in the top 10, giving the SEC 5 top 10 teams. How do you expect Arkansas to do?
With Petrino, I thought that Arkansas was going to legitimately have a chance. Now, I still expect for them to compete. I just don't know on the offensive side of football, will they be as explosive as they really could be? They get Miles Davis back, and I think with Davis is going to present something for them, and that's going to allow guys like Dennis Johnson to stay healthy. And we know how explosive he's been in the kick return game in the past. So the question mark is really going to be at the receiver position. I mean, you get Kobe Hamilton back, who is a deep threat, a guy who can really work the middle deep part of the field. But the thing is who else complements him? And when you don't have another receiver to complement him in the SEC, I mean, you're going to get teams that are pretty much going to focus on one area of the game. And then I think also the defensive side of the football for them is going to be a little shaky at times, but they're a defense that some games they're more of a bend don't break kind of defense.
So it seems like LSU and Alabama are up there, and then there's a step below, and then there's Arkansas. It seems like Arkansas is not on the same level as those two, but they still will be able to compete because they are, like I said, a top 10 team.